Thanks for coming today. My name's Katrina. I'm a fourth-year medical student, and I'm a part of the American Medical Students Association. I took a year off from med school to be in southwestern Uganda, take care of people there, and I got to see the amazing generosity of the American people through PEPFAR, taking care of people. But I also got to see the effects of the cuts to PEPFAR because we had to turn people away when they were diagnosed, and sometimes they didn't come back for treatment until they were on death's doorstep. So I saw people dying of florid AIDS. I was really happy to see that you promised to put these restoration of funds of $300 million.
Yeah, we got 244.
And but the all the money that was authorized for PEPFAR, the $300 million, was not included. So I feel kind of like the promise is broken, and I'm wondering if you can commit over the next year to restoring the funds, to building people up, like you said, which is the American ideal, and just making sure that we're going to end AIDS by doubling the number of people on treatment globally.
By 2030.
By 2020, so we end it by 2030.
We'll see about that one. Okay. How about a round of applause for this young lady? Here's the promise I made to you. The president cut the program by $300 million. I tried to get as much back as we could. 244 is winning where I come from. And how did we get 244? Well, somebody had to give up something else.
But I just mentioned also, there's this thing called sequestration, okay? And that has been across the board, MEDAX cuts, both in defense and non-defense. And you would not have received those kind of cuts because what we have done is, without the MEDAX approach, we'd have gone to various branches of government where they waste billions of dollars. Instead, we use that. And I'll tell you, the restoration of 244 out of 300 was better than almost any program there is. So I don't feel it. I guarantee you, if it hadn't been for him, it would have been more like $44 million.
Yeah, I agree, and I super appreciate that work, and I feel like you're.
Let me explain to these people what PEPFAR is so they know it's a good deal. So Bono calls me and Bill Gates called me because we're the only, that's the only.
He talks to them all the time.
Yeah, we have nothing in common. Bill Gates is the world's richest guy, and I got 280,000 miles on my car. Bono's talented, and I can't play the radio. But we have something in common. We believe that helping other people is smart business, good national security. So they were ecstatic that this account got plussed up in an environment where people are not getting plussed up, because I really believe in it. $40 billion was set aside by President Bush about 10 years ago to deal with AIDS in Africa. AIDS was about to wipe out an entire generation of young African children. Today, mother-to-child AIDS transmission has been reduced by 50% in Africa because of the generosity of the American people. The Gates Foundation, the One Foundation, Rick Warren, all these nonprofit groups and private foundations, with your money, has turned the corner on certain death to millions of African children who will be our customers and be our friends. Malaria is the next big thing to conquer. We're making great strides in malaria. Maybe we'll come up with a vaccine. We're down to 2 countries in terms of polio. Anybody in the Rotary Club? Good job, you know, but we put a lot of money to finish it in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan to get polio wiped out from the planet. So I'm really proud of this account, and it's 1% of the federal budget. If you don't want to bomb people all the time, then you better have an alternative just military action, which is building up the lives of others. This account is the entire foreign aid budget for the entire nation, for the nation. It includes aid to Israel. It includes developmental aid to Africa, $6 billion. 85% of Africa doesn't have a power supply. They're not hooked up to the grid. One day they're going to have power. I'd like them to buy power from us. I'd like it to be an American company that develops the power grid. At the end of the day, Africa is the great prize of the 21st century. China and radical Islam are moving into Africa. We need to get ahead of them. So these programs create friendships, they create partnerships, they buy you goodwill, and by the way, they're the right thing to do.